I don't really care about Lego minifigures, which apparently is Lego heresy, but it's true. When I'm deciding what sets to buy, minifigs barely factor into it. I care way more about the build than the little yellow people that come with it. And potentially, even more shockingly, it seems I'm not alone. Last week, I posted a video on our TikTok and Instagram asking you lot for your unpopular Lego opinions, and you absolutely delivered. So today, I'm reacting to some of your spiciest takes, mixing them in with a few of my own, and probably upsetting a large portion of the Lego community in the process. So before we get into that, don't forget to like the video because I am going to need all the support I can get from my core audience if this video gets shared on Reddit or one of those Facebook groups. That being said, if you are new, hit subscribe if you haven't already. We make daily Lego content here, including apparently now occasionally committing Lego blasphemy. And I still want to know more of your unpopular opinions too, so leave a comment down below and let's see how many people you can annoy. But let's start with that minifig one because clearly I'm already in hot water. But I've never been into army building. I don't notice if the legs are printed or not. I've got no idea which version of Spider-Man is the rare one. If the build's great, I'll buy the set. If it comes with good minifigures too, cool. I can use them to set up a nice little scene around the set. And they do certainly help to bring the Lego city to life. But if a set doesn't come with minifigures, there's a good chance I won't even notice, never mind care. And I do get that for some of you, minifigures are the thing in Lego that you collect most. And I do get it to a point. I've collected action figures and Funko Pops over the years, and I've got a nice assortment of brick heads next to me here in my office. I've just never been into chasing after rare ones or paying over the odds for a 14th different Batman figure because his mouth has got a slightly different angle and they use a darker shade of blue on his left knee. I also get that if you don't have a lot of space to collect and display Lego in your house, a minifigure collection is a nice way to stay connected to the hobby without having little plastic bricks take over your house like they've taken over ours. But they just don't get my juices flowing. I'm sorry. This next one, though, I think probably upsets even more people, but I didn't lead with it on the video because I do think it's something that most people know about me at this point. I throw away the boxes and the instructions pretty much immediately after I've built the set. I just don't have the space for them. I'm not going to frame them. And if I ever need the instructions again, I'll just download them. There is literally an app I can get at the instructions on. And I do understand that for some people, they're keeping their boxes to maintain the value of their set for if they ever want to sell in the future. But for me, I really don't see a scenario where I'm going to sell my Lego. And in the unlikely event that I do choose to sell it all, yeah, I'll take a bit of a financial hit compared to if it was all boxed up with instructions. But you've got to remember, I already live in a world where I pay for 2 separate storage units, and we've got over 300 built Lego sets and counting. If we kept all the boxes and instructions, we'd need a 3rd storage unit just to put them all in, costing us hundreds of pounds more a month. And I think in the end, we'd probably at best break even if we sold it all, which we don't ever intend to do. So no boxes for me, which does mean more room for Lego. And I have tried to provide a bit of a balanced argument there, but it is worth adding that if you're displaying your empty boxes after you've built your set, or even worse, displaying boxed Lego sets still sealed and never opening them, there's no hope for you. Lego isn't your hobby, shopping is your hobby. You should be watching shopping videos. But enough about my cardboard sins. Let's get into your unpopular Lego opinions, pulled from TikTok and Instagram, where, by the way, you should absolutely be following us. We're at Block Party UK on both of them. So go do that. I'll give you a moment. And yeah, if you think mine were bad, some of these are unhinged. I don't know if all of these are true, to be honest. And some of the most common responses were along the lines of, and I'm going to say this quietly and carefully, and remember, this isn't my opinion, their opinion, Star Wars is overrated. But it's not just Star Wars. I just had to mention that specifically because I can't resist messing with the Trekkies. But loads of people did say that they're tired of licensed themes, especially named multiple times Star Wars, Marvel and Harry Potter, because those themes seem to get multiple new releases pretty much every month, when in actual fact, people want more original stuff like Castle, Space, pirates instead of yet another grey triangle with wings. Although, to be fair, they did release a black one last year, which is obviously completely different to the 3, 4 grey ones currently available. And kind of on this topic, another one that popped up a few times, people admitting they don't get Ninjago. One person said it's all the same dragons and temples every year, which I do think is a very brave take on a Lego video, because there are a lot of Ninjago fans out there. And in fact, somewhere on the internet, a 12-year-old just burst into tears and doesn't really know why. You absolute monsters. But here's one I think is more common than people admit. Technic isn't fun to build. And in fact, someone said it feels like building IKEA furniture out of pins and sadness, which honestly isn't that far off. And that's coming from the guy who literally has a GCSE in Lego Technic and loves a good mechanism or moving part inside a set. That Pac-Man arcade machine is one of my favourite sets ever, and it's absolutely full of Technic stuff. But ask me to make one of those massive £300 cars with moving engine parts, and I'm just not interested. It's far too fiddly. I build Lego to relax and shut off my brain. I don't want to be measuring little plastic sticks and against the instruction book and counting holes. And don't worry, folks, we did get some positive takes from you as well. One I 100% agree with is friend sets are better than people give them credit for. Someone said that the colours are better, the interiors are more detailed, and mini dolls are underrated. They definitely did lose me a little bit at the end there with the mini doll stuff, but the rest of it I completely agree with. And I've said in my Lego shopping videos multiple times that the Friends theme is making the kind of buildings that the City theme should be making. And they also make fantastic rebrickable projects as well. And I have more Lego Friends sets in my collection as a 43-year-old man than I do Lego Star Wars sets. And I'm not sure exactly what that says about me, but I am pretty sure it says something. Probably something cool. And staying with the positives, but one you'll no doubt all argue with, someone actually wrote, "I don't mind stickers." They actually typed it on purpose. They said it keeps the costs down and gives you options. And honestly, I do admire their courage. But if I really stop to think about it, I guess I am happier paying £20 or £23 these days for a Speed Champion set with 30 stickers than I would be paying double that for one that was all printed. But that doesn't make the stickers fun. They are still rubbish. Agreeing they're a necessary evil to keep costs down is as far as I'm willing to go on that one, I think. And on the topic of costs, this one did surprise me because a few people said something along the lines of, "Stop moaning about Lego prices, it's always been expensive." Their argument, it was always a premium toy and people just notice the cost more now because they're the ones paying for it. And I actually made a video on that topic recently that you should go and watch if you want my full thoughts on it. But to very quickly summarize here, although the average price per piece and average price of a set hasn't really changed over the years when you take inflation into account, what has changed is the sheer quantity of sets being released now. So there's no disputing that if you want to buy everything, this hobby is way more expensive than it's ever been before. I guess it is a bit different though if you only ever gotten a couple of sets a year and that's all you plan on doing, you don't ever plan on changing that, maybe. I do sometimes wonder what that's like. And I think the takeaway is there is you mustn't want everything. And now we have the most cursed comment of them all. And I think this one was just trolling because I've done it myself in the past. "I use glue on my Lego sets so they don't fall apart." Actual glue on actual Lego. Like I say, I hope it was a joke, but I'm not completely sure. And a couple of people did say it. And as I'm constantly reminded in the comments of my TikTok about gluing Lego from a few months ago, they literally made an entire movie about why that's a bad idea. And finally, and this one nearly broke me. You actually got me with this one. Whenever I get a new Lego set, I dump every bag into one unsorted bin at the start. No categories, no themes, no order, just one chaotic rainbow of doom. And as far as Lego goes, I'm not sure I can think of anything worse. So there you go. They are the most controversial Lego opinions from me and from you. Some of them were relatable, some of them were cursed, and some, like that last one, I am still trying to recover from. But if you've got an unpopular Lego opinion that we didn't cover, drop it down in the comments and let's keep the chaos going. Maybe if we get enough of them, I'll do a part 2. or maybe just set up a support group. Thanks for watching, folks. And remember, it is okay to glue your Lego sets as long as you never tell anyone that you did it. Toodle pip.